It's recording, yeah, whatever's
Cool.
up there.
All right, good. So thank you for coming. Do sign in if you don't mind. Let me just take this off. No, I don't do that. Just by the end of the time, sign in, that'd be really helpful. What I wanted to do today to start with, and then Luke's going to share what he's done already, and I think this is going to be really helpful. I want to just walk through a basic shell and talk about if you haven't done what you've needed to do, there's some basic things that you're going to have to do. This one happens to be a English 200 online PGS course that Ryan Lackey taught about a year ago. But everything in this looks really similar to what we have in ours, doesn't it?
Right.
Almost identical. And there's instructor information right here. If you don't have it, well, your students already know you, so you're good to go. You don't need to worry about that. But make sure your syllabus is posted for sure. That's important that your syllabus is posted. Yeah.
Bill, I posted it in the first week of.
That's fine. Wherever you posted it is fine. This is just
Okay.
in the PGS course, there's a section for faculty resources, as you could see, faculty resources, and those are all hidden from students. The good thing is you could put anything you want on Moodle and hide it so the students can't see it, which is really cool because they don't have to see everything. So in essence, I just wanted to share with you that in PGS, pretty much everything looks the same. It's a little bit different in that we put in weekly objectives already, activities and resources. We put in required readings for them, which is right from the faculty instructional guide, and links for them to read articles and things like that. It looks like this. I'll show you. Required readings looks like this. There's an exercise in, what a great article, An Exercise in Doubt by Philip Lopate. Have you read that, Heidi?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's a great essay. And so they have to read this and that article. So it's all posted for them so they know. Plus they have to read the textbook from those pages. So they know this in their syllabus, but in Moodle, what it does for our students is it's all prepackaged for them in the shell. And then there's going to be assignments. And the assignments are going to be forums, and in this case, 2 written assignments, documenting sources using APA and reflective essay. So for this class, there's 3 assignments for the week. What I want to show you is what the week 1 assignment looks like. What he's done is put 2 questions in the forum heading, and then what he's done is he's asked them all to reply to these forums, and there's all their replies right here, okay? So, and this isn't really hard. All you have to do is go back. And by the way, whenever you do anything in Moodle, you have to turn editing on. You know that, right?
Right.
So the editing button is on because I could see all these little edit signs right here. If these aren't on, then go back up here and turn editing on right here. Make sure that's on, because if it's off, you really can't do much. All you're doing is looking at a shell that's full of whatever you have. So I always turn it on. Okay.
Can you go back and show how to get into the discussion?
Yeah, I'm going to actually walk you through how to actually get into the discussion. So week 1, weekly discussion and participation. All you have to do is click right here to get into it, right? But you're going to set it up. So to set it up, what you're going to do is you're going to add an activity.
Okay, so on mine I have topic 1, and then I just have resources and assignments, and then add an activity or resource.
Yeah, the activity.
You're going to add an
resources
activity or
together.
resource, right? You can open all these up. Have you been using your Moodle shell at all?
No, I used it a couple years ago, and then it didn't seem kind of effective. since I do everything on PowerPoint.
Right.
So, yeah, so I can't, so remind me how to.
Basically-
access these.
Basically, right now, just go to add an activity or resource
Okay.
and
so-
add an you're gonna go down to, activity open forum is what you wanna open. There it is, right there, just saw it. Keep going,
Open forum.
open forum, right?
Okay,
So go ahead and click on that. I guess you go down below. Where did it go? Add, okay? So if you add an open forum, it's gonna actually look like this. I'll show you what this one looks like. I'm gonna go here and edit this one. And it's gonna have a box. You put the title of your forum in here, week 10 forum or whatever you want to call it. And then basically you're going to type in the questions you want for your students. He did this for the online students. Respond to each of the discussion questions below. By Wednesday, your responses ought to be at least 250 words long. They ought to be thoughtful and interesting. Each should be a good faith attempt to engage your classmates and myself in conversation. That's really, can you see that? It's right up here, right? Please label your post. He said name, question number, description, whatever it is. And then he put the questions in there, right? There's a couple ways you could do it. And Luke, I have a question for you. When you're doing a forum, do you put the question in the description box, or do you put the question as an actual forum post? Or does it matter to you?
I usually put it in the description box.
Okay, it's better to put it in the description box in some ways, but if you have two questions, you could also set them up as individual questions on posts, okay? And by default, it's gonna say standard for general use, so just leave that alone. Under post options, at least for me, I like to always display word count. I like to have that on because then you know how many words they're writing and you could see it on every post. It's a really cool thing to have going. Okay.
I'm sorry, could I back up just?
Oh yeah, of course.
On my Moodle shells, it says add a resource or an activity or
Your,
assignment.
yours says,
Is there where's the activity thing that you go into?
where's the activity thing? Oh, it's down below on the, it's gonna be right. It's gonna be right on the bottom. See where it says add a resource activity? What does yours say,
Mine says.
Leslie? Add an activity or assignment, right? So it's gonna list for you. I'm an administrator, so it separates them out. So you just wanna click on add a resource or an assignment.
That's all I have. I don't think I have add an activity. I might be wrong.
What does yours say, Leslie?
Let me see.
Mine says add a resource or an activity.
Does it? Mine says add a resource or an assignment.
That's fine. Resource or assignment is fine, right?
That's fine.
Yeah.
And if I click on that, I just don't remember seeing activity.
Activity,
I'm sure I can get in there.
on the administrator's website, it shows activity,
Okay,
but on the teacher website, it just shows add a resource or assignment. You're right, yeah. And assignments are anything they're turning in to be
Right.
graded.
right.
And resources are anything you want to give to supplement your course,
Mhm.
right?
And then if I don't have add an activity, where do I go to add that forum, that discussion?
This is where you're gonna go. You're gonna click on that add an activity or assignment, and then you're gonna come up with a list of different assignments that you can add. And the one you wanna add is open forum,
Right, okay,
okay? So open forum's gonna allow you to get in there and just post this forum,
right.
right? So all you have to do is put the title of the forum in the forum name, and then type in what you want your students to do in the description box. And you'll see why open forums are important in a minute. I'll show you why they're so important. Okay? Have you ever used Moodle, by the way?
I poked around and used it.
It's really a
See,
good
yeah,
program.
'cause I have the admin stuff. And
The only extra thing that I would suggest right now is just where it says post options, display word count. I like having that because it just gives you an understanding of where the students are, and you could say, hey, you're not responding thoroughly enough, or great job, whatever, okay? The other thing you could do, if you're gonna use the grade book, if you choose to use the grade book, you could give this assignment a grade. Luke, do you use the grade book?
Yeah, I try.
Okay. Do you use rubrics?
Sometimes.
The rubrics in Moodle?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me show you how to do this, because this is going to be important. If you're going to set a rubric, let me show you how this is going to be. So all I did, Heidi and Leslie, was I just clicked on grade element under open forum, grade, and it brings me to this, and it says grade type none. I don't want it to be none. I want to give it a manual grade. So I click on manual, points, give it a point value, whatever you want it to be. I'll give this 25 points. And then if you want to use a rubric that's already in Moodle to utilize, you click on rubric. Okay. So all you do again is go to grade type. Instead of none, you press on manual. It's points, and you want to use a rubric. If you want to use a rubric, I'll show you how easy it is to grade with the rubric. And it's really kind of fun, actually. And then down at the bottom, that's all you have to do. Don't go save and return to course. If you're adding a rubric, put save and display. If you save and display it, and Luke, if you know a different way to do this, that's great, but this is the way I do it anyways. If you go save and display, it should let you in. Let's look. Everything's stuck. Why are you stuck?
Do you get all your required fields?
yeah, that's true.
Oh, this is why. Sorry. By the way, a good friend of mine said computers are logical, but they make us emotional. And I think that's true. So if I go to save and display now, it'll bring me up to something called advanced grading. Okay. I don't want to define a new grading form from scratch because that's going to take me a long time. What I'd rather do is create new grading form from a template. So I choose the one on the right. And templates will come up. And there's a lot of them. What are we doing? It's a forum. Let me see if there's a forum template already built in. Sorry. No, I'll have to search for the template. Okay, let's see which template I want. The first time you do this, the second time you do this, it's gonna get easier because you'll know what the name of the template is. I don't want an attendance template. I don't want cardiovascular templates. I don't want case analysis. It's coming. It's a participation one. No, not curriculum plan. Discussion rubric master. It's called discussion rubric master. So this one, I'm going to choose this. And I scroll to the bottom and I say, use this template. Bam, hit that. And now there is a template for a rubric attached to my assignment. And I'll show you why this is so cool in a minute. Heidi, am I going too fast?
No.
Okay. So I'm just going to show you this once because it's going to be important to, yes, want to continue. I'm good. Okay. All right. So now I added another test forum, but this one already has a forum in it. The weekly discussion and participation is already in it. The coolest thing of all is if you want to grade their forum posts, all you do is go to the top again where the turn editing button is on. It's called the actions menu, and you click on that, the top actions menu, and you go down to Open Grader. What's really cool about this, you see where it says week 1 weekly discussion right here? And then it gives there's only 4 students in this class. It gives the 4 students, right? If I click on each student, what it does is it gives me all their posts for the week in one smooth place. So in essence, what you're gonna do is if you set up a forum, you're gonna read through the forums, you're gonna post to the forums, you're gonna guide the forums and everything. But when it comes to grading the forums, you go to Open Grader, and instead of going back to the actual forum and counting how many times they posted, because in PGS, what we ask them to do is 1 substantive post of 250 words or so, and then 2 or 3 other posts that are substantive that respond to somebody else who posted. You choose what you want to do. I would say 1 substantive post and 2 responses is adequate per week. That's what I think it is. But a lot of times they'll answer a lot of posts, and we grade those according to this rubric. I'll show you what the rubric looks like. So look at this. Chelsea did a lot of posts. She did a 297 word post, and then a 242 word post, then a 94 word post that's a response. She did a lot of stuff. You can see the words for every post. That's why I put the word count. It's really nice to have that. She did a really good job. When I want to grade this, all you do is go over here and it says grade with rubric. Boom. You go to the rubric. You read the content of responses, interaction, timeliness and quantity, and grammar options, and then you just, boom, you just.
Did you just hit enter? What'd you hit?
Oh, let me show you. I didn't hit anything yet. No, because this is an active class, so I don't want to mess it up.
Oh.
It's grade with rubric, and
The
then
thing about those rubrics is they're kind of blunt force in terms of the points.
there.
The scales aren't very, there's just not 1 through 30 there. You have to select one and then it automatically populates points.
So if your assignments were 25 points, when you're done with the rubric, it calculates it based on 25 points. But as Luke is saying, the points are kind of weird.
Unless you got like 1 through 10 and you write out 10,
Yeah.
10 because I've done that and just put the number in sometimes rather than all of them.
Yeah. Again, this is just an option for you, but it's a good option if you choose to use the rubrics that are already existing, the ones that we use at PGS. If you don't like this rubric, you can do your own, or just read the posts for them and figure it out by hand if you want. You don't have to use that rubric. It's just an option for you. Okay? So, what I want to say is, you have forums that you're going to use, and you now have a ballpark idea of how to put in a forum. You have a ballpark idea how to grade a forum, right? And you don't have to use a rubric to grade. You could go directly to the grade book and put in the score if you'd rather do that. That's another option for you, okay? So you can override any grade that's ever been written by just going over here to grades on the left side and type in, click on a number and just type in the number you want to give that grade. And again, it's grades on the left side if you'd rather do it that way, if that's easier for you. Your call. Let me show you a couple more things and then I'm going to have Luke come up. So your basic shell per week has an area for, what does yours say? It has two things.
It says topic.
Topics?
1, 2. So I'm guessing that's, I thought maybe I could edit it.
Oh, no, you can edit that really easily.
How do I do it easily?
Oh,
Try.
I'll show you how to do it easily.
Okay.
I'll show you how to do it easily.
Okay.
But you can start with weeks, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Right? But here's what I'm talking about, resources and assignments. The reason we put resources and assignments, it's easy to put your resources in one place and then all your assignments in the other place. But you wanna make those visible to the students. And that's easy to do by going right here and just showing it. Yeah, that's easy enough. Okay. Okay. How you change all of that, you could change them one at a time, but how you change all that is to go to edit settings. Then you go down a little bit to where it says course format. And right now it's in a topics format, Leslie. You see that?
Okay, go to edit topic. Is that what?
You go to the top. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Go to the very top, that
To the,
action menu,
yeah.
and go to edit settings.
Okay.
And this is for the whole page, right?
Okay.
And then you'll go down to course format,
Okay.
and you'll go click on course format, and then see where it says topics.
Yeah. Go to weekly format.
You could go to weekly, and what it's going to do at that point is put in weeks. So, and the way you could do that, you could change the dates your class starts and the date it finishes up top a little bit. So it'll just start with whatever date you want it to start.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
That still says topic.
You have to go to the bottom and save and display at the bottom. Whenever you do something, you have to go to save and display, and then it'll make the changes you want. The one thing about Moodle that I don't like is if you do something, you can't undo it. You have to go back and redo it. You can't just, there's not a button that says whoops. There's not a whoops button in here. One other thing I want to show you is how to grade assignments for an online situation, right? Let's go to the reflective essay for work week 1. Do you grade online right now, either of you?
I do.
Okay, I'll show you what I do. I go to the reflective essay. I just clicked on the assignment. I didn't go to edit, I just clicked on the assignment. And it lists the assignment that's there. And how you create an assignment is the same way you create a forum, except you're creating something called an assignment. Let me go back. I'm going too fast. Sorry about this. Let me go back a little bit. So I'm going to add an activity, and Heidi, yours is going to be add an activity or a
Mine is
assignment.
or assignment,
Yeah.
not activity.
Okay, go to the assignment button. Under assignments, there's going to be an assignment there. One of them is called assignment. This is for anything that you want to grade that they turn in as a paper or as something, a PowerPoint or whatever you want them to do. I'm going to call this test one.
So this, I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
So if when I want to add a PowerPoint, I do that.
No. That's if you want them to add a PowerPoint.
Oh, got it.
Assignments are anything you want them to give, resources or anything you want to give to them,
Okay.
right? Again, you're going to put the description of the assignment in here. Okay. If you so choose, you could tell them when you want it due, right? By going to the availability and telling them exactly the time and the day you want it due. I'd be gentle with the students right now because they're learning this. But if you want, you could do a cutoff date, and that means they can't submit anything, but I wouldn't use that right now. It's a little too weird. When you have students who know what they're doing, it's pretty easy. And so you do a cutoff date, and then it puts a fire under their butts. Okay. Again, the only thing you want to do now, besides setting the date and putting in the actual assignment description, is you want to go down to grade. And again, if you want this to be points, this one by default gives 100 points. Let's just leave it at 100. And if you want it to be simple direct grading where you grade it with your own rubric off to the side, that's fine. Or if you want to use a rubric, you go into rubric and then you put the rubric in like we did last time, but this time it would be an assignment, it would be a written paper rubric, right? Does that make sense? Okay. It's up to you. But the cool thing, at least in my book, I thought this was cool. Yeah, I want to leave. The coolest thing about this is now, after I put in the assignment, and this assignment is a reflexive essay, I click on the assignment. I scroll down to where it says View All Assignments. See that right there? Click on View All Assignments. And then what I want to do, if you, like me, like to read the Word files of your students and make corrections in the Word files, we do that in hard copy, but you can also do that online. You just go choose and download all submissions at one time. What's really cool about this in my book is if you click on it, it just created a folder and it gave all their names and the actual assignment that was there. So I'm going to go back and do that again.
And where did you go to get into the reflective essay?
I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to go back. I know I'm going fast. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Again, assuming I set up what I wanted, I just go to reflexive essay, the actual assignment now, after I've already created it. Click on reflective essay. And then I scroll down where it says grade summary. And I click on View All Submissions. Luke, you're almost on.
So if we wanted them to peer edit their papers, is there any way to do that on Moodle, or should we move that into Google Docs?
Google Docs, I would say, if you want them to peer edit. I don't know how to have them do it on Moodle. Luke, do you? The peer edit, I don't think they can unless they do it in the forum post, but that's not going to be good. A Google Doc is better if you had to choose. Yep. Okay, so the cool thing is, if I download all submissions, it puts them in one place, all alphabetized, they're ready for you. All you have to do is save that folder into a file, because you're going to have to come back to that file and send it to the students later if you so choose. There's two ways you could do this. I like doing it this way. This is my way. I go into a file Let's see if I can find it. Let me do this one more time. Doesn't like me. Give me one more second. It's not letting me see what I want to see. They're there. What I personally do is go into the file itself, the student file, and I grade the file using two means. I use track changes and comments. And where you'll find that is under review in Word. This is a Word document under review, and it should say track changes. So I'll put track changes. Make sure the track changes is on, which it is. And then I can add comments. For example, on this, I might say something like, great APA cover page, something like that, right? I can also go through this and I could go through this and track all the changes, and then they'll see everything I've done on this, and you could grade all the grammar and everything. But when you're finished, you have to save that file back to the folder again. Because if you don't, if you want to do it this way and send it back to them, you can. Does that make sense?
Or I can have them email me their Word docs and I can just try to change this.
You could do either way. Whatever you do is fine. But let me show you. You know how to do this.
I know how to do it,
Okay.
but I want to be able to do it this way. And so-
And Moodle
I'm going to do that next.
is not awful. If students submit a Word or a PDF document, you can make comments and annotate, and then it saves it as a PDF back to them automatically.
I'm going to do that next. And
You have the tab.
the other way that you do it, if you choose to do it a different way, if you don't want to get into all the trouble of downloading their files, then you go to reflexive essay again. Sorry, reflective essay. View all submissions. Then one at a time. Why did you say nothing to?
Just wanted to grade, right?
Yeah, I thought I graded it.
You wanted to click on.
Oh, hold on.
Good.
Oh, yeah, grade. Sorry. My apologies. You go to grade. Why isn't it showing me my submissions anyways?
So you went into the assignment itself, and then you went into view all submissions or grade?
Well, right now it's not showing me anything, and I don't know why.
You want to look at them all? You click on grade. It'll come up.
Not coming up right now.
Wait, did you go into grades at the side?
I'll show you where it
Or
went.
Did you go just through the assignment and then that came up?
I'm going to go into the other assignment for the fun of it. I go down to the bottom, and I go down here to grade. See where it shows grade?
Okay, right.
Luke, it's not showing me anybody's assignments.
Go up to the user. It might be because there's nobody enrolled anymore. Go
Um,
look to where it says change user. It says no user selected. See, there's no students in the class anymore. And it says courses in it.
I just saw their things a minute ago. Huh.
Click on view all submissions and then you can click on grade by name in there.
It's not showing anybody else. Let me do something that I like to
Because
do.
it says only active enrollment.
Where does it say that?
oh yeah,
Click
unclick
the
that,
checkbox.
the middle box.
Maybe that'll get them. They were just there a minute ago. That's what's weird. Let me do what I always do. Anybody have a hammer?
I'll try to click grade again.
No, it's not letting me do it. I'll tell you what.
Show mine.
Show yours. Come on, Luke. Come on up here and show them yours. Get into yours. Should I just leave it here and then you're gonna log out?
Could you start from the part where you're in the syllabus and you click on the assignment?
Sure.
You might have to go, you might just have to
Might have to
log out of mine. Is that still mine? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but I'll save yours in the other window.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I already have students turn in everything through my WP classes. So in terms of they're already assigned assignments, they're already in there. But so like each week we have a written assignment and then a film response. And for the written assignments, I'll go down here. I force them to post documents. For my film response, I have them type directly into the interface because it's faster and it's like a shorter response.
Yeah.
But for this one, it works better for the grading if I have them submit documents. So then it
Now
converts
we
them
see
all to a PDF here. And I can make marks on there. On my iPad, I can use like my app things. It's super clumsy with the mouse, but then you can also click on this comment thing and, you know, type run on.
So that's a PDF file of the student submission, but it allows you to do some things. You can put comments on there.
Yeah.
You can put little things. It works really well.
And what I often do is I have a Word document with the rubric and I will just paste the rubric in the feedback comments rather than using the rubric section and then just put the numbers there and then put some additional comments right here and then put the grade there. I can show you that in my other class. And then what happens is everything that I annotate on this document gets automatically saved and converted to a PDF and posted for the student to see all your comments and feedback there.
Yeah. I need to get to use this way. I like using the Word document because I'm used to it, but this way isn't that bad. It just doesn't let you grade every grammar piece, and Heidi and I like to grade all the grammar.
I know, I do too.
So.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a writing class. We should write that
Exactly.
right.
Yep. I mean, I do it too, but with that, I usually just circle things rather than write a
Correct.
comment for every like what the grammar mistake is, and then use general comments. So as I'm thinking about changing some things to go online, first I was like, what do I need students to do right now?
Right.
Because we're not meeting. I was going to assign, they have like another big project that's 6 weeks out, but usually I have students start to work on it over break because they have to interview someone usually. So, I first of all, I added a week to my Moodle page because we're extending out a week, and then I just put like a blank week for this week because I was pushing everything down. And then I think
We're extending out a week.
exam week is becoming another instructional week. Yeah.
Okay, that's how it is. I
Yep.
wondered the other day, remember we talked about that in here? I wasn't sure which they're going to be.
But we're not going past exam week, so that's still the last week,
Right.
but
That makes
and
sense.
we'll most likely still be online at that point, I would expect. But I think the best practice is over communicating and being really clear about what you want students to do. So I just, let me click on the editing piece here. So every single week, I'm going to click on the actual heading of the week where the dates are posted. Right, so right here, I'll click on edit and I'll click on edit week. And I'm just going to list out everything that I want students
This is a
to,
great idea.
everything I want students to do during that week. Right there, so that when they pull up the week, they see it. And so read instructions, view this video. And these weren't things that I was going to have them do before because I was going to do them in class. But now I need them to do it outside of class.
You're ahead of the ball.
Just for 1 week. Right. So then I created a forum because I would have like some question back and forth. And I don't want to try to mess with a synchronous video with students.
Right.
It's just not going to be accessible for every student and it's going to be clumsy. So I created a forum for them to be able to ask questions about the assignment. And I'm like forcing them to write a question and to tell me which option from the assignment, because there are 3 options that they're going to choose. And then I would have reviewed what a primary source is, but I just went and pulled a YouTube video that does a good job in a few minutes. And I posted that for them to watch so that I don't have to make an extra video myself.
That's great.
And see, I don't know how to do that at all.
I'll show you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's
So-
pretty easy.
So I put those instructions there, and I'll do the same thing for this week following spring break. I'll go to edit week itself, which basically just allows you to type that text that shows up as part of the header there. And I'll number it like whatever, 1 through 6, like this is what, you know, you need to do for class this week.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Luke. A great idea.
So for here, in fact, I need to do this anyway. Maybe I'll find it here. Okay, so I'll stick here for a second. So I posted my documents here, right? Primary source, essay assignment. I want them to read that. If they choose a certain option, they have to read this. If they choose another option, they have to read this. Then I created this forum just by, like Bill showed you, add an activity or resource.
And would you hit on this drop down?
I would hit forum.
Okay, that's on that drop down there?
Yep, right here, forum.
Ah, okay.
There's like an open forum too. That doesn't,
The only
Just the regular
difference
forum
It's
is-
easier to grade if you want to grade it from Open Grader. That's the only difference.
the open forum?
Yeah,
Oh, that's good to know.
that's what I
Oh, okay.
use. I like
So-
Open Forum.
Okay. That either will work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
either works.
So I created this forum here. Let's see if anybody posted yet. I don't think so. So then I just put the questions here. And they'll have to add a new discussion topic when they
Yep.
post. But I made this due after spring break week. And then I do think students like videos and they like to see our faces. So I used a resource here. I'll pull it up real quick and I'm going to recommend it to everybody. It was in one of the Cengage training. It's called Screencast-O-Matic. You can just go here. You can sign up, but you don't have to. You can just click start recording. It will ask you to download some software tools. They're not like, you don't even see it. They're just hidden in the background.
Can you do it on this computer though?
I don't know if,
I don't think we're using the camera for Zoom, so it probably might let you. But it is sharing your screen, so I don't know if it'll allow you to.
Yeah, I don't need to make it right now, but I'll show you. Then it just brings up this interface and you basically click record. You select initially, do you want it to just show you? Do you want it to show your screen? Or do you want it to show both? But you can toggle between each of the three of those. And so I'll show you real quick the video that I made using the tool. Because it saved it automatically for me, and then I just uploaded it by, I'll show you what I use there. Sure. Web launch record, I'll just let it go through.
All right, with all the books, I love it.
Oops. So this is actually, it's pulling up the tool right now to record me. So if I wanted, I could click record. It would make a video of me, and I can do it of my screen, of my webcam, or both. So this area that it's outlining, it would show that on the video, and it would show me down in the corner here where it says webcam. So I'm gonna exit out of that for now.
I'm gonna use this.
Yeah, it was great. So I made this, I started. Hey everybody, hopefully you got an email from me already about the audio does not in sync right there. But I also wanted to touch base. And so I just kind of did what I said, or I said what I would have done in class to go over the assignment here. And I also pulled up the assignment document, and I toggled to screen share so that they're seeing the document and I'm still down in the corner there. For artifacts by or I didn't realize this at the time, but you can direct your cursor on the screen too. So I was like playing with it and it was doing all kinds of crazy things. It was probably distracting. They are describing. So with option one, you're actually creating a primary source. You're do extensive notes. So I just started with me, and then I showed the document with me in the corner.
About 5 minutes?
It's like 7 minutes.
That's great.
Yeah.
Great.
So
I
then
don't create anything over 10 minutes.
with that software, you just click done, and then it asks you, do you want to upload it to YouTube? Do you want to save it as a file? I saved it as a file, an MP4 file, and then I just put it right there. I clicked on add an activity or resource.
Yeah, show us how you did it.
I put file right there,
Yep.
add, and then it will take you to this. You need to title it, and then you need to know where you saved the file to, and then you can go browse for it. Right. And then
That's great.
save and return to course, or save and display, either way.
That's great.
I'm gonna cancel out of that.
I'll grab my notes real quick.
Yeah, so I mean, one of the biggest challenges for me is going to be that I assign different readings to different students, and then I have them share that with each other. So I'm either going to need to just have them do that. I'll probably create groups. You can create groups in forums. You can also create a wiki, basically have students create a website and like build something together in groups. I used that in another class. It worked okay. It can just be text. It can kind of be like a shared Google Doc, basically, that they work on together, which might be another good solution, is just for them to work on a Google Doc together that they're contributing information to for everybody. So I might actually use that. What else was I going to show? I was mentioning earlier, I've used this annotation website if you want students to like read something together and discuss it. called Hypothesis. There's a Chrome extension for it. So it basically creates this feature in Chrome, and if you use the Chrome browser, it would allow me to annotate this website. Like any website you pull up, students can like comment on, basically like highlight, write comments on over on the side. And so any web-based reading, any New York Times article, any like PDF that's posted somewhere, you can put that in your Moodle shell. It can give you a dedicated URL that basically creates a new web address just for your class and for your students that students can navigate to and then go and annotate that particular article by like commenting on. So you can divide them up in groups so that they can have like a group discussion about a reading, or if you just want to track their reading, it can be a good way to do that. I'm not using it right now, but I've used it in a past class. Is there anything else that I was going to show?
No, I just wanted to see what you were doing. I like what you've done as far as, are these all things that were already in the class, or did you just put all these in recently?
They're things I've created from the past.
Oh, from the past?
Yeah.
Are those all hidden right now?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I don't know if this is going to be it, but one of the previous times we taught this, we had like a whole week canceled because of snow. So I also put some things online, and I did just like a audio narrated a PowerPoint and uploaded that as well pretty easily. I think I'll use the Screencast-O-Matic for that this time around though. Oh, one other thing, I know Bill, you shared this at the last one, but I use the course announcements link that's at the top of every Moodle page. It's default set to directly send to students' emails, and it gives you a static place to put a message. So I click on course announcements, right? And I, like as soon as we knew that we were going online, I put an announcement there just to like let students know what was going on. And then about usually 30 minutes later or something, it sends an email out to everybody that's enrolled, and I sends it out to me as well. But then it's back here. It's here for students to refer back to. So I'll probably also cut and paste what I put in the week that I expect them to do, and I'll put it on this announcement, so we'll go out to them via email as
I
well.
just did announcements yesterday to one of my classes, but I didn't see that area for replies.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever gotten any replies, but I guess maybe that's a particular setting.
I think for announcements, it's set up where it's just you're sending out announcements. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess students can probably access it and click on reply.
I would think so.
Yeah.
And then are we alerted that there is a reply then?
That's a good
Probably, you'll probably get an email
Okay,
depending on what your settings are. I also, something up there will usually be highlighted, or there'll be a number in it if the student sent you a message through My WP Classes. Is there anything else you wanted me to show, Bill?
What questions do you have that we can ask? answer. I'm gonna work with you on Thursday, so don't worry about it.
Would it drive you insane, Leslie, if I asked him to do the video thing again?
No, never.
How to do that screencast-o-matic
Yeah,
thing?
Yeah, I didn't get that.
And I'm gonna work on that between now and Thursday.
If you need help too doing that, you can come and see me too, because it looks pretty
Yeah.
simple, like,
Yeah.
I
And
can,
I really want to be able to do it. But the other
So
thing
you-
is my computer up there doesn't have a webcam.
Here, I have a webcam for you right here.
Oh, do you? Okay, I
Yeah.
requested
Do
one.
you need a camera?
Carly, when you record your Zoom,
Mhm.
what kind of file type does it save as?
it saves,
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
think
what I
I have
use.
the option because it saves in the cloud right now, and then I can export it as a MP4,
Yeah.
which is what I've been doing.
Okay.
Changing the dates.
So you can also do it through Zoom. Heidi, I don't know if you've used that at all, but
I have been noticed
Okay.
that.
You could also
Just so you
do it on your phone
students can.
and then email the file to yourself.
Sure, I'll show you how to do that.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's
So I don't know.
any easier to do that way.
if you, do you have a webcam on something, Heidi,
No.
on a computer
I
or?
don't.
Or
My
an
son
iPad?
does.
You could take that one there for
This one
your,
right
for
here.
your office. And we're getting a bunch more for people if you want one,
Yeah, I did sign in yesterday,
but,
saying that I wanted one.
oh, this is recording.
And
Yeah,
then does it
I'm
also have a
recording.
microphone? Does it also have a microphone?
It has a speaker microphone
like a
built in,
capture.
not like a headphone, but yeah. So Zoom can also work, and you can do a lot of cool things with Zoom, like share your screen, which we're sharing right now, so it's recording the screen. If I stop sharing the screen, you can use a whiteboard on Zoom. Or you can just show yourself. So you can do a lot of the same things, but I did find the Screencast-O-Matic to be very easy to use. So
And where did you go for the Screencast-O-Matic?
just this website,
Okay. that's the website.
screencast-o-matic.com. And then launch free recorder. And it already downloaded it and set it up here. Should be firing up. So it pulls this up,
Uh-huh.
and I clicked on both. I don't know if it matters if you start for both, but right here is where you toggle between
Right, between your screen.
yeah, it's not
and your-
accessing the webcam right now.
And so that black box there automatically comes up. And when you want to record, you just hit record.
You hit that little red record button here.
Oh, I see, I see.
I guess it's if you play a video or something, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Or if you need it for something.
Yeah, so it's only recording this way. It's not going to record anything that you play. So this is set for 15 minutes. I don't know if you need to upgrade to go beyond that, but I wouldn't recommend making videos any longer than that. Yeah, I might have to mess with this to make sure the webcam's working, or maybe it's conflicting with Zoom right
I
now.
think well, I'm not sharing the camera for Zoom, but the camera should be enabled, like you should be able to do it. But maybe that's why, it's because Zoom's running.
Yeah,
It's
I
that way.
think so.
Probably. But then you can adjust this to share what part of your screen you want to share. And, you know, like what I did, I pulled up a document that I wanted to walk students through. You could also have your PowerPoint on the screen if you want and have that be showing while you're narrating in the corner.
Stupid question, but how do you get your file onto that screen? Like,
You just
where do you pull it
You
up?
just pull it up
Oh, just
from
pull it
wherever,
up, right.
yeah, from wherever you get a file.
Yeah, like that's
Any
just
file
showing you
you
what
want
it's
in
recording.
your files.
Oops.
Yeah, that's just showing you the boundaries of where it's recording. You still have access to everything else on your computer.
Yep. There are not many files on here.
Yeah, it's pretty bare bones.
First essay. There we go. So I would just want to make sure this
Sorry.
fit on the screen, right? Oh, there goes the webcam,
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
right? So if I use this, this would be the full webcam. This will be me in the corner. And then this would be just the full screen without the video. So I can scroll through this document as I'm talking here. I can use my cursor. It will create a little circle around it to highlight, you know, what I want students to look at. Pretty handy dandy.
Where'd that paper come?
Probably breaking some FERPA regulation right now.
That's okay.
That's all I've been thinking about this entire presentation.
Jacqueline Reyes.
No, we didn't break it.
Oh, with our Moodle and opening up students' assignments. And, yeah.
You've been excused because of the coronavirus.
So, yeah, you can email or
I just
email or
wanted it, so-
text me or call me if you're using that and you have
I
any.
need to see that whole thing a third time before I get it, but that's what I want to do.
You gotta do it to get it.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think one of the things this coronavirus is gonna do is, for those of us that have to use video, it's gonna make us accept ourselves a little more. Seriously, because most of us
I know.
don't do our own pictures.
Like, do I look like that when I'm up in front of students?
You know, the other thing that I.
Do I have that many facial tics?
How do you take what you've recorded and get it onto your syllabus?
Yeah.
I didn't catch what
Okay.
that step is.
So when you finish with that, you can stop it actually. You can stop it, back it up, pick up back from where you like left off, kind of edit yourself a little bit if you're like, I want to do that over. So you can back it up and then continue recording from there. You can pause it and then keep going in one continuous video. But when you're finished, then you click on done.
And where was done?
Let's try it one more time here. It was right near where the record button was. So it's launching again there. All right, so clicking on both. So I would click record.
Yeah.
It gives you a 3, 2, 1
Oh, is it just
countdown.
that?
So now
it's
I'm
down at the
recording this video. It's showing this part of my screen to students.
Yeah,
Then when I click pause, you can either keep going or you can play back what you've recorded, or you can delete it
I see.
or click done. And then I didn't try editing anything, but I know that you can add
Call outs and stuff.
yeah, call outs and like subtitles or headings or whatever. So then save. What do you want to do with this recording?
Where did it?
I would save I saved mine as a video file.
And then you choose where you want.
You
that
could
to go.
put it on YouTube and then use the link, but then publish and then it will, but first you want to click on browse so you know where it's going to save to. Right. Just put it on the desktop for now. So then it's saving. I'll open the folder where that is. So there it is right there.
Where'd you get it? Where'd you pick it?
I just put it on the desktop for
Oh,
now.
okay.
And then I would go back into my WP classes. I would add an activity or resource, add a file. Give it a title, and then it's gonna need to browse. Navigate to where I saved it on the desktop, and you can either click open or double click on it. So there it is. Need to upload that. Save and return to course. Yeah, it was 30 seconds.
Oh,
You
that's-
don't want to hit save and display? Just
Either
you don't
one,
want it
either one.
displayed right now.
Yeah. So there, put it right there,
Oh,
and
that's great. That's great.
Yeah,
I
that's,
feel like
that's
if I
great.
could do that,
and then
I
it
could
will.
do everything.
No, it's true, you can.
Yeah.
But it's like if I get a bump, I'm
So
getting
now
water.
recording this video, it's
Oh, that's
showing
so
this
cool.
part of my screen to
I can
students.
do this.
Then when I
You
click
can do
pop,
it, Heidi.
It's, yeah.
so now
The
I'm
punishment is
recording
gotta
this
listen.
video, it's showing.
But, what can you do? I am what I am.
I'm gonna go ahead and erase that.
And if you hit a bump, like I said, you can call me,
Thank
like,
you.
yeah, it's, you probably will hit some kind of bump, but
Yeah,
it's,
I'm sure it will. But, if I could just like play with it and get a
Yeah.
sense of it.
that's all you.
Do you want me to save this
And
on here?
actually save it to a place.
Yeah,
where I
leave it
can
on.
look
Oh,
at
Yeah.
I'll leave it on the desktop.
Yeah.
Yes, I haven't heard it.
Is there a limit to how many things you can save on your desktop when you're doing like recorded files? Is that
Only as big as your hard drive is.
Yeah. I know, and I mean, if you're making really short videos, I don't think you're gonna run into storage problems.
What else do you ladies need? I know Leslie needs a
I
few
just
things.
have a couple questions. I had a stranger on the plane and I just say, I have never seen this many things on it.
Oh, really?
What's that?
A stranger on the plane told me that my desktop had more stuff on it than any desktop you've ever seen. Why are you looking at my desktop?
That's what.
Yeah, weird
I
thing to
need
tell
to get
somebody.
away.
You ain't seen nothing yet. They're like, it's all folded.
I don't know. I haven't read.
Yeah, I put everything on my desktop. It's just easier to get around to me. Thank you, Luke. That was
Yeah.
great.
Thank you very much.
Does anybody want to see anything else on my WP classes here?
You're up.
Yeah.
Anything you want to talk about?
Okay. So basically, besides all of this stuff, you don't have to use what I'm going to show you, but if you're curious, Google's platform, they have a lot of stuff for storage and video upload as well. The way you access it is you need to have a Google account and a Gmail account. So if you don't have a Google or a Gmail account, I would maybe recommend just creating one for online instruction. It's really simple to do. I'll show you how. I'll just go to add another account. And then if you were needing to create an account, you would just click here and it'll walk you through the process for myself. And then that's where you would figure out your username and everything. But I'm gonna use the library's account to just kind of demo everything. Library events.
And the students use this all the time.
Yeah.
They're always
So.
Google Slides, Google Docs, everything.
Yeah, which is like one of the ups of this is that they probably already use this and have access to it. So if you ask them to do something on it, they'll be pretty familiar with it. Do you guys use Google Docs already? Did you want to see something in Google Drive? Do you have questions about that?
You know, we use it some.
Uh-huh.
And I should know this, but, so we're gonna do peer editing,
Mhm.
so, like, can I, like, send out a, message from Moodle and just, I mean, how do I start a shared,
Okay.
Google document so they can?
Yeah. So the way I usually do it, and I would just go to new, and there they have spreadsheets, slides, forms, all different types of documents. If you're just thinking a Word doc, I would just create a Word doc. And then the way I usually do that is you'll need to invite them to share it via their emails, which if you go up here, I'll just have to name it. And then you would enter their emails in. So if I wanted to save this or share this, I would just do that. And then you could add a note if there's something specific that you wanted them to do with the assignment. You could give instructions right here. And you can add as many people as you want, but you would need their emails. So it's kind of a pan. You could, I've shared it before with, the way I've used it, I'm pretty sure you can. Somebody else stop me if you're not able to share it. I think for Hangouts, you need to have a Gmail address. That's the one that you need a Gmail for when you do a Hangout.
You can see a document.
Can you
view from another email, but I don't think you could do everything you could.
Oh, okay. It's like editing.
Yeah.
You might need to have them do a Gmail then for that. Okay. Because that makes sense. Because a lot of the times when I'm sharing it, it's for people just to look at stuff, or they already have a Gmail, so I've never really had to specify it. But if they have a Gmail, I would do that. And then that would be easy too. If you want to put together a Hangout, you can add them on their Gmail as well. So yeah, that's what you would do. You would just enter their email in. So I'll do that one more time. And then you just click send and send an invitation. Yeah, they need an account. So they need their Gmail in order if you want them to edit it. And then you would just send the link.
Can I just ask a quick question? So we can open like more than one Gmail account?
Yeah, there's no.
I have one, but it's on my Japanese friends.
Yeah.
Open a new one.
Yeah. And there's no penalty.
Half of it's in Japanese.
And yesterday there were some questions about like storage for a lot of stuff, especially because we have a Vimeo account for Warner and people were kind of worried that that's going to get flooded. You might just want to open up a Google account to store stuff if you are afraid that, or if stuff gets too heavy in what Warner already has for storage wise, for documents and video and stuff. And there's no penalty to make like a bunch of them. Just stay. You just have to stay organized and not forget. And then, yeah, it makes it easier too, because you can do all this if you use like a different email, but the process of like verifying it gets really mucky, and that's why I just say just make your own. Let's see, you can see which documents have been shared with you about, so say you shared stuff with students and they're sharing documents with you, you can check on that in this file, this area right here. And then are you guys familiar with like adding comments and all that on the Google document itself? Okay, so if you go back, you should be able to just add comments somewhere. Yeah, here, when it's a document that somebody's shared with you, you can add a comment and you can put in stuff there. Right now, no one's shared a document with the library, so I can't really demo it, but that's where you'd go on this toolbar right here to add comments, and you can click on them, and then once if it's like a discussion, you can actually, there's an option to click resolve, so you can end the discussion if it's something or a question that's already been answered, so.
You can click edit over there on the far right to edit.
Yeah. And then it's pretty similar to Word. They've got all the little tools there if you're in editing mode. If you want to like export this or email it, yeah, you can export it right here as a Word document. So, and I know a lot of students too, anecdotally, like they usually do stuff in Google Docs because it's cloud and they don't have to worry about having Microsoft Office. And so, yeah, so there's that version or that option. I don't really use it for much else, but that's where if you wanted to put it into Word, you could export it into Word or PDF or whatever file type you want. Google Slides and Google Sheets is like the Excel version. I like Excel better personally, but it functions the same. Google Slides, I do a lot of Google Slide presentations, and it's a pretty simpler version of PowerPoint, which is nice. And I think you can even export it into PowerPoint if you want. Yeah.
So if they're doing PowerPoints for presentations in Google Slides, then they'll be able to just post those onto Moodle to share them with the whole class.
Yeah, the thing is, you can't post a Moodle doc
Mhm.
on Moodle. You'll have to save it somewhere.
Yeah, and upload
And
it.
Save it, upload it as a PowerPoint or something.
Okay.
Something to add about Google Slides that I've noticed is if they're doing it in here and exporting it to Microsoft PowerPoint, sometimes the formatting gets weird
It does.
and it might change. So you might want to let them know to don't just save the file really quick and upload it. Like make sure that everything looks the way you want it. And even with Word too. I always run into that when I'm going back and forth between them. But yeah, they have like the little themes and layouts, and you can share Google presentations as well.
They do
Right
it all
here.
the time.
Yeah.
Oh, so that would be a way we could do
Mhm.
the presentations is to just share
Yeah,
the-
you could share, yeah, you could just do the slideshow in Google and then share it with their Gmail address if you want.
Are you talking about what you're doing for them?
No, I'm talking about what they're gonna do because they're supposed to do presentations at the end of the semester.
In teams or individual?
Individually.
Okay, yeah, that's a good place for that.
Mhm. Yeah, I love this too because when you're doing group projects, you don't have to be in the same space with the person. You can just kind of go back and forth. So it was really good to use when I was in library school. And it's, like I said, it's pretty straightforward. You can do themes. So if you wanted to add some pizzazz, do that. This allows you to create a new slide. The layout of each slide is if you go here, they'll give you some like predetermined layouts.
It's just like.
It's just like PowerPoint. So it's a little bit simpler. Any questions about this stuff? Sheets are similar to, I don't use a lot of Google Sheets. I tend to just do Excel, but
I don't think this group would use Sheets.
Yeah.
at all.
I'm trying to get to it. Okay.
That's the science group.
Yeah, I like putting it, the formula inputs and stuff are easier to do in Excel. So I tend to endorse Microsoft Excel better. But yeah, so those are the ways you can have students share resources back and forth too. And there's no penalty for creating a Gmail account. So if they don't have one, they can create one, and it's with they can even use the same, hopefully the same name scheme that they have for their Warner as well.
What do you mean?
I mean, like if they're the first letter of their first name and then,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they could add it, hopefully, if it's not taken. Okay, so that's Google Docs. Do you have any other questions about that? And what's great about Google is you don't have to use all of it. You can use bits and pieces, whatever works in combination with, Moodle too, so. The Hangouts are down here. This is kind of if you want to do some kind of synchronous instruction.
This is a chat, right?
Yeah, chat. So you would need to get all of their emails to make sure that you can send them the invite, and you can do different types of calls. You can do a video call, you can do a phone call, you can just do a message. This is kind of another alternative if you don't have Zoom or you want to do something more in real time. Up here is the menu to kind of set stuff up. You have your contacts, you would have invites. So if you wanted to set up something, you could draw, how would you do that? Let's see, let's add a new conversation. Oh yeah, and then you create your group. So you would type their username in. There's nobody at the library really, but if I wanted to invite myself into this conversation, we could. And then these are all apps too. If you downloaded the app, you could do it from your phone. If you want to do it on your computer, you can do it that way as well. But yeah, you would have to compile your contact list of your classes first before you could start sending invites for Hangouts. Another way is YouTube. I'm pretty sure a lot of students will probably have YouTube accounts. You could create a channel, and like what we just showed earlier with the Screencast-O-Matic, they give an option to just automatically upload it to YouTube. If you're curious about how to start your channel, if you don't have a channel to start with, the library already does, but you would go up here, and if you just go to upload or go live, it'll automatically prompt you to create a channel. It'll be like, you don't have your channel yet. Like, this is how you get started, and it'll take you through the process. So I just clicked upload video. I'm going to use that video that we just recorded. So if you go to select file, recording, and then open.
Does it matter what format it is?
No, I don't think so. I mean, a good rule of thumb is like a lot of these programs, they kind of give you the best of the best. And I would say MP4 is a good option to have. So the title is recording number 3. You could say like demoing software, if I knew how to type. You can select a thumbnail to get started. So whatever thumbnail you wanted to select. You could also create playlists for specific classes. So if you wanted a playlist specifically for one section, you could do that. Audience, so I would, yeah, just click no. Don't need to worry about that. And then, yeah, you just click next. You don't need to promote anything. And then click next, and you could make it public for everyone to see. You could schedule a date, like if it's something you want to do announcement-wise and you don't want to put it on and available till then, you could do that. And then you just click published or publish. And it's published, and then this is the link. So if you wanted to take that link and put it in your Moodle, you could do that as well. And then it gives you options for all this stuff since it's YouTube, and it'll be right there. And it'll give you like analytics on how many people have watched it, the comments. So if you wanted to post a video and students ask questions, you can look at the comments in there, and it's right there. And then there's an option to go, so this is your dashboard for your channel, all right here. If you go back, this is like where your playlists are. If you go back to this little icon here, there's the option to go live, and that'll be a real in-time option. So if you wanted to do discussion, you could do it that way, and they could type back. I do want to let you know that a lot more people are using this now because so many students or schools are going online, so it might be a little slow. Just something to consider. So, I mean, I think when thinking about going live and doing stuff in real time, maybe like I would personally just do it when it's absolutely necessary and try to like work around doing stuff in sync, because it's going to be difficult sometimes to get everything working. A word to the wise about going live. If you haven't done it, you click on it and it'll ask you to verify your account, and you have to wait 24 hours before you can go live actually.
That
So,
makes sense.
so that's what you would do. Let's see what button. Yeah, they have discussion here that you can add comments. Yeah, so it's just another option when you're doing video stuff on hosting, and your videos will also, there's a limit. I think somebody said like 15, what was it, 15 megabytes yesterday, somebody said?
Somebody said that.
Yeah, yeah, I think it was 15 megabytes. They increased the storage amount a little bit just because they knew more people were going to be using it. But there's nothing, I don't think you would go over by just making small videos, but there's nothing stopping you from just making another email account to deliver stuff. So if you do run into that, but I don't think you would, because you want to make stuff as short as possible. Any questions about it? It's kind of, you can also do it on your phone. YouTube has an app, and you would just go